Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. We are live on YouTube this evening. It is January the 26th. It's good to see so many people in the comments. There won't be much to speak about this evening, so it might be maybe a 10-15 minute show, but please stay tuned and hopefully we can get some Rangers content in that 10-15 minutes. Of course, I'm joking. As we know, it was very busy on the Rangers scene, so we've got lots to talk about. I'm not going to muck about with my rubbish patter any longer. Let's get straight into it and then introduce my guests. Firstly, it's Mr. Ali Pearson. He's back in the house.
Back in the house, back out the doghouse, Ryan. That's me back in until the next
I forgot about
event.
That.
Yes.
I didn't know what you were talking about there. I was like, aye, so it is.
So made it back for Inverness successfully. No, look forward to it, Ryan. As you said, there's not much news to talk about this week with Rangers. So, yes, it'll be an interesting show.
No, there's not much at all. I would love to get into the reason why you were kicked down that alley, but we'll keep that for another show when things are a bit quieter. And secondly, I'll come to Nicky first. Nicky, mate, how are you?
Feeling a wee bit starstruck, to be honest, after the show you boys put on at the Loudon last Friday night. But listen, it's another week ticked off. I dare say this weekend will be a bit quieter than last weekend. I've actually got a shirt on. I was in the office for the first time in about 60 days. I only know that because I got an email saying my pass was due to expire, so I better get into the office. So I had to get used to wearing a shirt today as opposed to joggies and a hoodie. But looking forward to the weekend and talking about all things Rangers.
Good man. I just thought I was underdressed when you logged on there. I thought, oh Jesus, this boy's he's taking us up a notch here, and Carney's not give us a heads up. So I'll see if I can dig a shirt out for the next one. And last but not least, Mr. Scott Carney, how are you getting on, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I don't think I own a shirt that fits me since Christmas, to be honest, mate. I think I would need to go buy myself a shirt. But no, I appreciate Nicky's effort. I'm not going to lie. It's a good effort, not half. No, I'm good, mate. A bit of a crazy week for me, but the weekend is here. Rangers game to look forward to. So yes, bit surreal that this time last week, lads, we were just all arriving at the Loudon and we were about to go on stage. It feels like ages ago already, but yeah, it was a cracking night. Just one thing before we go any further. I didn't really want to have to address this. I didn't think I would need to, but the constant messages and comments that we get from it, I feel like I have to. First of all, I'll say I appreciate everybody's support. I really do. Like, we love the support that you give us, the podcast, the lads, everybody. It's tremendous. The situation with Scott not being on, or Scotia not being on the podcast just now. We all have personal lives outside of this, and right now Scotia's taking a break from the podcast for the foreseeable, really, because he's got other things to concentrate on. We're all still his pal. There's no more in it. I hope you can respect the privacy of it. Nicky and Jamie weren't in to replace Scotia in any way. It was always going to happen. So I was always looking to bring other guys on board. So there's not more in it than that. I didn't want to address it because I didn't feel like I had to, but the constant kind of messages about it, I feel like it's best to say it on air and then we can kind of hopefully nip it in the bud from there going forward. I don't know if Scotia will be back. He might be. There's no set date for anything like that, but just so everybody knows, for the foreseeable, Scotia has other things to concentrate on, and it is really as simple as that. So I hope you can all understand that. And let's get into it, mate. Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. I'll get to all your comments.
Yes, hello, indeed. The chat is filling up very nicely, mate. Lots of comments coming in. If you've got any questions, I would maybe hold back tonight. I think we've got a lot to speak about tonight. So, as always, if you can get them, if you want to ask a question, we'll try and get it. But I think we've got so much to speak about, and nothing less than talking about the victory, the very good victory and good performance, which was lovely to do a post-match with Carney about on Wednesday night. The 3-0 win through Edinburgh. I'll come to you first, Ali. Myself and Carney, as I said, did a post-match. I texted you in the morning and I said, if Rangers are serious, this is a game they need to win. The pressure was on for me, and I criticise about pressure a lot. What was your feelings about the game and the performance on Wednesday night?
Yep, we had a wee text message each between us, Brian. For me, it's part one of two that Rangers have completed. The next part is tomorrow. It was pressure, and we all know with this Rangers team in previous games, Ryan, that when the pressure's on, a lot of times we fail, but they didn't. They stood up for it at Easter Road for me. The first 10 minutes, I don't think we were great, to be honest. I know Hibs had that one chance, but with Jack Butland, he's... I mean, what more can you say about Jack Butland? But overall, I thought we were fantastic, Ryan. I really did. I thought 3-0 flattered Hibs. I know Nick Montgomery thought 3-0 flattered Rangers, but I don't know what game he was watching. 3-0 flattered Hibs. That could have been a serious doing for Hibs. But I'm not surprised, because if you look back at previous performances at Easter Road and you look at the scorelines, we've humped Hibs. Hibs play this expansive football, which they could maybe get away with against your Ross Counties and Livingston, but the way they play against us and Celtic, they'll get pumped. The way they play this, playing out for the back, they're not good enough to do it against Rangers and Celtic. And ultimately, it tell on Wednesday night, Ryan. But I just thought fantastic performances all around. Key players for me. You always look. Goldson for me was a huge loss. Did you miss him? No, you didn't. You didn't know he was there because John Souttar stood up for me. Lundstram again. There's not much more you can say about Lundstram this season. I thought Sterling's second half was outstanding. I thought he was brilliant. And Jamie's man, Mr. Dessers, coming on at the end with, I don't know what else you could say about this guy with that. Just summed it up, to be honest. But overall, Ryan, fantastic performance. But it's part 1 of 2 for me. It'll mean nothing if we don't get 3 points tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, but that's the mentality. It's got to be, it's got to be on to the next one. You can't just rest in your laurels and think, oh, how great were we on Wednesday. Nicky, I'd imagine you're much the same. What was your take from the game on Wednesday and the performance?
Yeah, listen, it's another one that, to be honest, I was probably quite nervous getting into. I think it comes from the scar tissue that we have with this squad, with the exception of probably the 55 season. We do always need a bit of a jag to get us going after the winter break. I've still got Joe Worrell footing about at the back at Kilmarnock, right, ingrained in my mind. But no, listen, with the power of hindsight, again, it was a really comfortable game. I think I would agree with Ali, and that probably the biggest compliment you can pay Hibs is that, with the exception of Celtic, they try and go punch for punch, right? They don't do what Aberdeen and Kilmarnock do, where they do the low block, they stick 10 men behind the ball and they try and catch you on the counter-attack. They do kind of go for punch. And as Ali says, as Rangers and Celtic will think the same, right? We have better players, and if you want to go punch for us, then chances are we're going to win the game. And again, I think it's just another tick for Clermont. It was another really strong performance. We were aggressive all over the park. I think I would agree with Ali in that I think Lundstram was superb. I thought Sterling's second half was fantastic. Your man Ridvan was brilliant. I don't think we scored that goal if you're playing Borna Barisic, to be honest. He is not in that position behind the right back. Brilliant ball from Lundstram, brilliant touch. And Cantwell as well, I think he hadn't done much. I think there was some murmurs on our WhatsApp about he's had another stinker here, but what a goal, by the way, on the half turn, minimal backlift. I actually thought that it must have hit the side netting, because the commentators, they didn't really get excited about it until I kind of seen Cantwell wheeling away celebrating. But brilliant goal. And then Dessers, he's an absolute enigma, right? If anything sums Dessers up, right, it's that 10 minutes where to have the audacity to finish that ball, to send 3 defenders and a goalkeeper the wrong way, right? All joking aside, see if Messi does that. It's on Twitter getting retweeted for 3 or 4 weeks. To then follow up 5 minutes later with a one-on-one that he melts right straight down the throat of the keeper, right? Just sums the guy up. But no, listen, another brilliant performance. It was one of the ones, right, where we go, it's the catch-up game. We're no arsed about performance. Just win it, get back up the road, and as Ali says, on to Saturday, another big 3 points on offer.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think what you say there is you make a really good point. I'll come back to you, Ali, on this one before I speak to Carney. Is the punch for punch kind of term that Nicky used there, I think is spot on. I think the way Clermont sets up this team on occasions, especially Wednesday, I think it was highlighted that he's pretty okay with his being open at the back, because he clearly fancies us to outscore the opposition, and he probably fancies Jack Butland to make a majority of saves if the opposition get any chances. his tactics for me were spot on Wednesday night.
Oh, they were. We all knew what Hibs were going to do. We knew Hibs were going to play. I like playing Hibs because they try and play football against us, as Nicky says, they don't do a low block Hibs. And do you know what I like, Ryan? I like the press for Rangers at the moment. See the way they lead the press. I think it's brilliant. And the amount of times Hibs try to play for the back and we pressed them. And they ultimately lost the ball. We got the ball back and went again. Relentless is a word that was flung about when we won the league a couple of seasons ago. Similar to that for me, Ryan. Hunting packs, winning the ball back. And as you say, the amount of attacking we're going to do, we're going to give up chances. We can't go a full game without giving up chances. But if you've got a guy in Jack Butland behind you, you've all the confidence in the world because he bails out. He played big saves. The one that nearly went, well, I thought it was 2-1 when he pulled it back to the boy. I turned around, my sister who was watching with, I went, that's 2-1. And I was like, how's he saved that? How's he saved that? But as we say, it's super Jack Butland in goal. But no, the way he's got this team playing at the moment, Ryan, it's a joy to watch. I mean, you look at it when Beale was in to now, it's night and day with the same players. But aye, more of that. And I'm just excited when he gets his own players in, Ryan, to see exactly what we'll be like. But so far, so good for me.
Yeah, Carney, we're talking about obviously Clement here, and yeah, we'll be painting the wall again, but you know what? It's so nice to do because of the season, how it started for us. I think it's very evident how big a fan I am. I think we all are, of Clement and what he's done since he came in. I'm just excited to see Rangers again. He's gave me the passion back for them. I believe in him. I didn't believe in the last manager. It was a horrible feeling. I wanted to be able to do well. But there seems to be a bond between him and the fans and the players again. There's a unity between us again, and I think that's imperative if you're going to win things. Just tell us about Clement again, Carney. Let's just talk about him.
Yeah, the guy seems to have came in and immediately got the respect of pretty much everyone, and that's got to be a hard task to do. Especially, he's not silly. He's going to have known what's happened previously with Michael Beale being in the position and how badly wrong it went. Knowing that the Ibrox fans, the Rangers fans, were pretty much at the end of their tether with the board. He knew he was coming into a bit of a lion's den, if you like, and the way that he's came in, the way that he's handled the press from the get-go, and pretty much from his first couple of interviews, I think we all went, that's a bit different. That's different the way he's talking, and even more so as it's going on now, the interviews that he has, you can see that he's growing in confidence himself within the role now. I think the impact that he's made on this Rangers team it's hard to put into words, the difference of football that we're seeing. Wednesday night under Michael Beale doesn't happen. That we don't play like that. We don't convincingly beat Hibs at Easter Road. It just wouldn't have happened. I'm a big believer that Clement is changing this mentality, and that's the biggest thing. The respect, yes, of everyone. And I think even when you're hearing players talking to the press, doing interviews with RTV or whatever, and they're asked about Clement, you can tell they respect him. But again, another big thing is everybody's buying into it, fans included. We all know what he's trying to do. We're all going 100%. That I get what you're doing. I get your style of play that you're trying to do. I get the players that you're trying to attract to the football club. That's what we've all wanted for I don't know how long, since Gerrard, probably since we had the kind of first wave of Gerrard, where we could see a change in the mentality of the football, what we were planning to do, how we were going to plan to play football. But Clement, I think, is probably adding more on top of that, as we were all desperate for the steadying of the ship. I think he has done that and some, and now he's very much building this machine that he wants to just continue to keep on going. And it's comments like he's made previously, it's not about building momentum, because momentum means that something has to stop eventually. I want something that will continue to go on and on and on. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly it. It doesn't matter what you do tomorrow, because the next day after it, we're looking ahead to the next game, and then you can't live on the past. You can't live on what you've done previously, and I don't believe that's what he's trying to build. It's very much you go out, you play like that, you give 100% for every minute that you're on that pitch. And you do what I tell you to do. And if you do what I tell you to do, we're going to go things in the right places. Everybody has their role. Everybody knows their place. And yeah, I'm the same. I've become a massive fanboy of him now, Ryan. And I think going forward under him with the signings that we are making and what we've been linked with and the business that's been done with the new director of football and recruitment, whatever the term is for him. I'm very much for it. I am all aboard, mate.
Yeah, all aboard indeed, Nicky. Come on, we can speak about for the full podcast, I think, but I think what's evident is, it's still a project for him. We're not a finished article. None of us in here are sitting here saying we're going to win a treble and kick on. But I think it's so evident to see the shift in mentality he's imposed on this team off the field and on.
Yeah, I think. Reality is, the time he's been here, right? It's almost flawless. Genuinely, it is almost flawless, right? I think if you take the scenario of where we were, right, when Beale left, don't quote me, right, but we were 8 or 9 points behind Celtic. I think we maybe had a game in hand, right? If somebody at that point offered you Clement to come in to close the gap to potentially 2 points, to qualify top of the Europa League group, to win the League Cup, all with the same people we were watching week in, week out with Beale, right? You would have thought they were mental, right? But you would have bit their hand off, right? Immediately bit their hand off. And to be honest, I'll be honest with you, I was very torn when Clement came in. I was massively torn between Muscat and Clement. I think there was really appealing aspects to Muscat. I think that really aggressive football was something that really appealed to me. We'd obviously seen it over the other side of the city, right? It was massively appealing. Muscat looked like this kind of no shit taking manager, right? Would he have been the man to come in and clear it out? But again, with the power of hindsight, right? Clement looks as though he's the right choice, right? Because what he's done, it's very Klopp-esque, right? I'm not suggesting he's as good as Klopp, right? But Klopp's obviously big on the news just now with announcements with Liverpool and stuff, but he is very Klopp-esque, right? You talk about that mentality. I think the word Ryan or Scott you used was kind of unity. But I think the other big thing that Clement probably holds over what Muscat maybe wouldn't have is the improvement in individual players and us as a team is night and day, right? You look at James Tavernier. James Tavernier was a shadow of the man he was 18 months ago, right? In that Europa League run, he was an absolute shadow of where he was. He's come on twofold, right? He has been absolutely superb for a few months now. John Lundstrom is a different player altogether. Even Cyril Dessers, right? I still don't think he's the answer, but he is performing significantly better now than what he was under Michael Beale. So, listen, Clement has enough credit in the bank now, right? All the fans believe in him. We all see what he's trying to do. Every single player. I mean, I think it was Dessers actually spoke about the metaphor, right? About the marathon. Everybody is on this metaphor, right? About the marathon. We will drop points, right? But it's about where we are in May, right? Continuing on that long distance. And he has enough credit in the bank now. The Rangers board, find the funds, right? Find the funds and back this guy in the next 4 or 5 days or however long we've got left. Just find them wherever you need and back the guy because we'll reap the rewards. He's shown enough evidence now that we will reap the rewards if we back this guy and give him what he needs.
Yeah, I think so as well. And this is where we kind of touched on a couple of pods ago where we were talking about the transfer window, and we even spoke about it on Friday. And this window, just for me, boys, and I know it's only a week away or whatever, or less than a week, it's imperative for this season. And you know how down I've been on this team and I've written them off, and it just feels this transfer window, on the evidence of how we've come back under Clement in the league, lifting that trophy, the Old Firm games, we are not as far away from them as we probably all felt at some point in this season. And yes, if he gets back in this window, which it very much looks like he's going to be, it's exciting times ahead, and it's very hard for people like me to not get excited. So, interesting times ahead. I don't know what I'll do if we're any decent and this goes the right way, boys. I genuinely don't. I'll probably not come on the pod. It just won't suit me, I don't think. Anyway, let's bring ourselves back down to earth here, as I always do. I was going to focus on a couple of individuals. I'm not going to. I can see the time there, and we've plenty to discuss. Rangers announced yesterday that, and I'm going to use the word, I don't use it a lot, but Rangers legend Stephen Davis was to retire. from Rangers. So he's a Hall of Famer, obviously, and they put a video up on Rangers social. If you haven't seen it, I would really encourage you to go and see it. I thought it was a lovely touch from Rangers to put that video up because it was quite a personal moment for him, for the players, for the squad. And if it didn't pull at your heartstrings, then I'd be questioning you. Ali, again, we could do a podcast on Stephen Davis alone, but a very big player, personality, and I will say it again, a Rangers legend retiring.
Aye, he's in the Hall of Fame. Stephen Davis, he's a Rolls Royce of a midfielder. Ryan, completely different midfielder. The second time round from the first time round. The way he kind of just sat and dictated play for us the second time round. But if any young, the video with Clement yesterday, with the players all sitting, was brilliant. Even Clement talking about him. Young players take note of Stephen Davis. Brilliant on the park. Never in the front pages of newspapers, and obviously what he did for Northern Ireland as well. It's just I don't know what else you can say about Stephen Davis, Ryan. He's done it all. He's won trophies with Rangers. He's been to 2 major European finals with Rangers. It's just a sad way his career's ended because he'd want to go out in a high rather than be injured and unfortunately have to retire, because the guy was fit as a fiddle, Ryan. If he didn't get that injury, he could have played for 2 seasons probably. No doubt, but he's there's not much I can say about Stephen Davis because the guy he's a legend, and you can tell Clement in his wee speech was basically saying to him, if you want to come back here and help us, the door's always open for you, which I liked because I know he's got Alec Gray in there. Stephen Davis in there for me would be a good appointment. So good luck to him in what he does, but legend, absolute legend of Rangers Football Club, and the type of player that you want in your team, Ryan. You ask about heart, desire, application. He's got all of that, and young players coming through should look up to Stephen Davis as a role model because he's a fantastic guy off the pitch and on the pitch too, and good luck to him moving forward.
Definitely, I don't think it can be underestimated. The kind of hole he leave in the dressing room as well, because you just know what type of guy he is. You can see it when he's in interviews and what he'll bring to the team. So I echo everything you say there, Carney. Things that I'll go around you and ask you. I'll put you on the spot just after I get you and Nicky's point on Stephen Davis. But I want to ask you your favourite Stephen Davis moment. But a moment that always sticks in my head, Carney, is when we won that 55 and knowing what McGregor and Stephen Davis had gone through because they were with us before and they had to leave. I don't care what anyone says, financially they had to leave. We've all got lives outside our work, and at the end of the day, Rangers is their work. They had to leave, and I'll never forget when he lifted 55 because I knew how much it meant to the likes of him and McGregor, but watching him lift 55 was special, and it's a special player we're losing.
A very special player we're losing, but I think we'll consider ourselves very lucky, and we probably do even now that we got to see this guy play for a football club twice. Davis was an example of what it is to be a hard-working football player, to knuckle down, keep yourself out of trouble, take care of yourself, and your ability and your determination will shine through. Rolls Royce is the only word that I can think for Stephen Davis. He was a true Rangers man. The word legend gets bandied about often, but I couldn't think of any. I put out a tweet last night and I was like, I can't think of any other word apart from legend for the guy. Honestly, I can't. A true gent, honestly, an absolute stellar man. Even when you hear him speaking, you hear him talking, it doesn't seem like there's no false pretenses with him or anything like that. That's just who the guy is. That's how he presents himself. And the touch from Rangers in the video was brilliant. A wee lump in my throat as I seen him being quite emotional after Clement did his chat. I was like, it's got to be hard for a player like that. I mean, can you imagine us as Rangers fans that you've spent 2 spells, successful spells as well at that, at Rangers, and it's now all kind of over for you. It's a sad way for his career to end with the injury that he got. It is such a shame, it really is. Football can be so cruel at times, it really can, but it'll never take away from the man that we seen run our midfield for two spells at the club in his prime anyway. Just a fantastic football player, a true Ranger, a true Ranger for sure, and thoroughly deserves his place in the Hall of Fame. And I wish him nothing but the success. But most of all, I want to thank him. Thank you, Mr. Steve Davis, because it's been an absolute pleasure to watch you. You're on mute, Ryan.
You're on mute, Ryan.
Do you know, that's the first time I've ever done that.
I think it is the first time you've ever done that.
I've never done that because I use teams that it doesn't matter. I've done it.
Doesn't matter. Done
I'll edit that out. Nicky, just as Carney was talking about Stephen Davis, a lot of memories are going through my head there of good performances and iconic moments. But maybe a kind of downer side of this, I just remember having that shot in the European final where it came from Ryan Kent's unbelievable miss and it came out to him and how close he was to being. He's immortal anyway, but just having that immortal name of bringing it home, bringing the trophy home. But what a player he's been for us over the years in both spells, Nicky.
Listen, I think that would have been the fairy tale, right? He'd have been well hanging his boots up. If that went in, that would have been the fairy tale ending to an unbelievable career. But listen, legend gets thrown about a lot. He epitomises the word legend, and I think he epitomises the values of this football club. I think if you look at his professionalism, the standards he set, the quality, the commitment of him every single day. And to steal Ali's quote, he's one of these guys, he's never on the front pages of papers, right? He's almost the kind of perfect footballer. And whilst he's a legend of an individual, right? To your point, Ryan, what a footballer. Like, honestly, what a footballer. You look at his career, he's got 750 odd appearances. He's the most capped British man, I think, with 140 odd for Northern Ireland. He was a success down south as well. A lot of people move and they aren't. He was a roaring success at Southampton. They thought very, very highly of him. And his two spells at Rangers, completely different, right? He came kind of younger, quite aggressive, 8, kind of hybrid to a 10. Ali talks about younger players, right? Some of the squad as well should be looking at him, right? You talk about Todd Cantwell, right? And if he wants to, he seems to love it at Rangers, right? If you want to make it, look at what Stephen Davis done the first time he was here, right? The goals he scored every season, the assists he scored every season, big goals in Europe, big goals v Celtic, big goals in cup finals, right? He was unbelievable. And then to come back again, to transition into that 6 and be able to just completely control a game from the 6th position, right? We have massively missed him, right? Completely pressure resistant. One of these players that I think massively benefited us in big games like Celtic in Europe, been able to take the ball under pressure, play through the press. He'll be massively missed. And again, 2 Euro finals, he is in unbelievable company, right, of Rangers players who have done that and have achieved that, right? John Gregg, Sandy Jardine, etc., etc. But to finish, right, he is a young lad from Northern Ireland who lived his dream, right? Not just to play for the club he loves, but to become a legend of the club he loves, right? As Ali says, Hall of Famer. What a guy, what a footballer. And yeah, wish him all the best in whatever he goes on to do next.
Yeah, indeed. Good luck, Stephen Davis. And just before we move to my favourite part of the pod, I'm going to come round you all very quickly. Nicky, your favourite Stephen Davis moment?
Well, listen, I think you've already stole the 55 one, right? But another big moment that was massive for me was, it's a bit of a history lesson here, I think, but I'm sure it was the 2009 season. It was the first time we won the title again under Walter. Was his goal against Celtic. I'm sure it was a 1-0 win at Ibrox.
He slid in.
The weather was pissing down and he slid in across, I think it was maybe Kenny Miller, and that just started to turn the tide, right? We'd missed out narrowly the year before, obviously Manchester, etc. Big moment for me, big goal, big game, started to turn the tide and we went on to be champions at the end of the season.
Yeah, big moments from big players and he certainly was one. Ali, your favourite Stephen Davis moment?
Oh God, there's a few. Overhead kick against Celtic.
Honestly, I could have put my money on that. That's what Ali was going to say. Like, I could have put my whole mortgage on that. That's what Ali was going to say.
It can be the same. It can be the same.
I know.
No, I've got something else.
The only other one I would have came to, Ryan. The only other one I thought of was in the League Cup final. They scored before Jelavic scored. He scored in that one as well, which was a critical goal. But the overhead kick, because it was a bizarre goal and Stephen Davis doing it. If I watched it with Carney actually, and I think we looked at each other and went, "That was Stephen Davis that done that." It was like disbelief.
Yeah, no.
So it was, that just because it was what it was basically.
And you've just grassed us up for breaking COVID rules, mate. Good job, Alistair. Good job.
Nah, you could go into a bubble at that point. Remember?
Oh, could you? Oh, we were in a bubble. Yes, so we were. I forgot we were in a bubble together. Yes.
Aye, and I was not at George Square twice. Carney, what about yourself? Your favourite Carney moment? I almost said there.
Not many of them. There's not many of them, mate. Mine's a wee bit left field, I think. I remember an interview happening after we won 55, and obviously all the players were in the stadium. We were getting the trophy. And he was getting an interview, and James Tavernier ran up behind him and grabbed him, and they were having that wee cuddle, and he was just screaming legend at him, like legend at him. And Davis is almost trying to push him away as if to say, don't give me the praise. And to me, I was like, that guy is an example of what it is to be a Rangers player. Really, it was. Obviously, the overhead kick's going to be remembered, for sure it is. But that bit for me, I was like, that guy's an absolute top lad, a really, really top lad, and probably a truer Ranger we'll maybe never see again, I suppose. It'd be hard to maybe to beat that, to beat his spell, his stint, his contribution to this football team, really. I think the only one that's coming close to it now, really, will be James Tavernier, which a lot of people will turn up their face at, but yeah, I think you have to really think after Davis, it probably is. But yeah, that one for me, because I thought you're a proper Ranger, it's not all about him, it's about the team kind of thing, and I loved that. I absolutely loved it. Yeah,
a player that makes you proud to be a Rangers fan, and I'm sure that he manscapes. Time for a word from our sponsors. Cheers to the new year from our friends at Manscaped, because your resolutions shouldn't be the only things that are well kept. 2024 is the time for new heights, new opportunities, and a new look for your Times Square balls. Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is every man's cheat code to look good, feel good, and turn the page on your confidence this year. Whether you're looking to maintain a trim or go for that clean-shaven look, this trimmer has you covered. Trusted by over 10 million men worldwide. Now is your time to get a grip on your grooming with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use the code CLUB@22 for 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped's 5th generation lawnmower is not just a trimmer, it's your grooming sidekick, equipped with 2 skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. It is also waterproof, and for men who want the full grooming experience, look no further than Manscaped's Performance Package 5.0. In the grooming kit, you get the trusted lawnmower, Manscaped's ear and nose hair trimmer, and essential aftercare products with the Crop Soother lotion and Crop Preserver ball deodorant. Yes, it's deodorant for your balls. Bet you didn't know that you needed that. As a gesture for the new year, they have even thrown in 2 free gifts, the Boxers 2.0 and the Shed 2.0 toiletry bag. Let's face it, resolutions might come and go, but a well-groomed you is here to stay, thanks to Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code CLUB@22 at manscaped.com, because nothing says Happy New Year like a deal that leaves your balls and your budget feeling refreshed. Embrace a new you and definitely embrace a new trimmer, courtesy of Manscaped.
Absolutely. Well done. Ryan read that off the top of his head as well. That was very well memorised, mate. A lot of people in the comments are saying as well, how do you not laugh when you do that? Because you've got to concentrate so much when you're reading it out.
It's because of the tongue twisters, honestly. I'm more nervous about reading the Manscaped thing than I was about doing the pod last Friday.
I know.
But yes, thank you to Manscaped for the continued support. When you're buy Manscaped product, you're using our code, you're supporting the pod. So anybody that's looking to buy that kind of stuff, please use our code. If you forgot it, rewind it, listen to it, or message us and use the code, because it supports our pod and it is a great help to us. And thank you once again, Manscaped, for your continued support. So, gentlemen, we'll move on. I am running a bit late. I knew we would tonight. Transfers, it's all go. My phone was going non-stop. The group chats were going non-stop. I thought, who are we linked to now? No. We've signed someone. Mohamed Diomande is arrived. Well, not arrived. He's signed from FC North. Is it Northland? I think you pronounce it. The box-to-box midfielder is actually a loan deal, and with a view to a permanent deal in the summer, with the red tape of a work permit. Ali, box-to-box midfielder, the Ivory Coast. He comes with a lot of potential. Clement was speaking about him today, saying that he's one of the biggest prospects in Scandinavia. I am extremely surprised at the money we're spending on him. I'll be honest. I'm not worried about it, but I'm just extremely surprised on the price tag. What's your thoughts on this one?
Well, I need to see him first, but from what everyone's saying about him, he's my biggest prospect in Denmark, etc. It's big tag to put in the boys straight away. Coming to the Lions Den at his Ibrox, where there is 0 patient people in there, including myself.
You. Including you, yes.
So,
I was about to say, I'm surprised Ali's not already written him off. He's not here yet,
brace yourself when you make your debut for Rangers. But when we were all surprised, Ryan, when we thought Chris Rangers paying $4.5 million in January. Where's the money coming from? Sounds a sensible deal, Ryan. On loan, we'll pay the money in the summer. So gives us time probably to look to ship players out, i.e. in the summer. We'll have guys off the wage book at that point as well. So, but he ticks the boxes, Ryan, in terms of the profile, in terms of what Clement basically came in and said, Rangers haven't been run correctly in terms of this player trading model that we bang on about all the time, because we've made an absolute arse of it. If you need to, with your Kents, Morelos is way down, Maribos, Camaras. So this guy fits the profile. Play for Rangers for 18 months to a year. Yes, he could be absolutely amazing and we'll hate to lose him. But if we lose him and he's won trophies for Rangers and we get mega bucks for him, that's what we need to be doing going forward, Ryan. And then we reinvest in the next guy. So that's the way it should be. And I'm excited to see him, Ryan, because I looked against Hibs. John Lundstrom stepped up for me. Nobody around him at the moment, apart from Sterling, who isn't a midfielder, has stepped up. So there's certain players that should be looking behind, because Diomande ain't coming here to sit on a bench. He'll play for Rangers. Yeah, he's going to have probably need a couple of weeks to get up to match sharpness in terms of what Clement was saying, but I'm excited to see him, Ryan. Box to box, as you say, can score goals. He can play pretty much every position in the park. What Clement was saying today, apart from goalkeeper, but I'm very excited to see him, Ryan. I just hope the hype, we don't overhype him, if you know what I mean, because Ibrox can be an intimidating place sometimes.
Overhype him? When have we ever done that? Carney, he does come with a wee bit of rep, and obviously this price tag, you get slaughtered in Scottish football if you don't find your man. Well, not a Scottish football at Rangers. If you don't find your man every single time, you've got some sort of price tag on you. I think Nicky was the first person to say in the pod that he would like to see a midfielder come in the window. It looks like he's got that wish. The way John Lundstrom's playing just now, I think I always bang on about you only need one sitter in Scottish football. But for me, John Lundstrom's screaming out for somebody next to him to do that running, to do that attacking, tracking back, box to box. This boy looks like the man.
He does, and I'm the same. I'm very excited to see what he can bring. It's long overdue that we have kind of followed through with the proposed player trading pillar that the businesses or the club is going to be running on, and this one really does fit the bill. The fee does look quite hefty, but I do have to praise the way Rangers have handled their business here. See, getting him in on loan to the end of the season, I've got no idea how they've pulled that off. Generally, I've not got a clue. The player must have made very, very strong hints to the club that he didn't want to be there anymore and he wanted to pursue this move to Rangers, and I would imagine they've almost backed down to an extent, because I think the deal's great. I think you really have to credit whoever was in fully charge of that whole that whole deal from kind of start to finish, for us to have a player that has the potential that is rumoured to have, to get him on loan, and we'll kind of play now, pay later kind of scheme that we're going to be having with him. I think it's brilliant business by Rangers, and it allows more movement, I feel, for Rangers in this window in terms of bringing players in. I think the move is fantastic, really. Rangers are buying the player. There is no doubt that they are buying it. We're obligated to buy him, so the fee is agreed. It will happen at the end of the season, but the business is brilliant, really, really good. I'm very excited to see what he can bring to the table if all the rumours seem to be true. Could be a bit of a coup for Rangers to get a player of his calibre in, considering the clubs that he's been linked with previously. But I'm all for it. Even with Clement today, we was talking about it in the press conference, you can see why he's brought him, why he's bringing him here. Jim Sloan, man, whoa, Jim, what? Jeez, sorry, Jim, 50 quid, mate. Absolutely fantastic, mate.
You've been drinking tonight, Jim.
So much, mate. Jim, that's amazing. Wow, it's absolutely superb, Jim. Thank you.
He's funded the Diomande deal, Carly.
that's kind of caught me off guard there, Jim. That's amazing, mate. Honestly, thank you so much. That's fantastic, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Where was I? What were we talking about? Amazing. That is, Jim. Honestly, but the deal's an exciting one. The player's an exciting one. And yeah, everything about him really does fit the bill. My only gripe is the media that ask questions. I don't know if it's just me, right, or if it's my pessimism. This is almost if they were asking Clement, how did you manage to bring a guy like him to a club like Rangers, like kind of looking down their noses at it? I hate that. Why are they not? The mainstream media are constantly trying to kill Scottish football. They do it all the time. And I'm like, you should be celebrating a player like this coming to Scotland, a player with this potential, with the links that he had previously, with putting a bit, not a spotlight. It's not. I'm not saying that the whole world is watching. I don't mean it like that. But a lot of people will be going, "Oh, look what Clement's done there. That boy was touted for big things, etc." Instead, it's all, how did you do that? How did you manage that? How much are you paying? All that kind of stuff, and that really gets to me. But in terms of the business, in terms of the signing, all for it, mate. Really all for it. Absolutely buzzing to get him here. I actually was speaking to somebody in work today, and I thought he would be on the bench tomorrow until I realised that he's actually not in the country yet. So, but I'm still very much looking forward to seeing him when he does arrive, and hopefully he's a massive success, and we get the few years out, and like Ali said, and we sell him on for a profit, because that's what it is going to be all about. But yeah, looking forward to seeing him, mate. Really am.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be exciting to see. It's always exciting to see a new signing anyway. When we've laid out that type of money, it suggests to me Rangers are confident in selling this boy on in a couple of years, and I'm all for that model. I'm all for it. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Nicky, this screams a Niles Coppin signing. I know Niles Coppin is just in the door, the new managing director, but in terms, I'm not a Dutch football expert, but I see a lot of African players going to Holland and being successful. For me, this screams out a signing by him, and it's, as the boys have said, it's an exciting one.
Yeah, listen, I think we've screamed as fans for a while now, right, that these are the markets we should be playing in, right? Given our money situation, these are the markets that we can go into, and we can pick up the players who are the best in their teams and the top 5 and 10 in the league, right? Taking this kind of washed out championship team players, it's just not working. So yes, I agree. We've spoke a lot about transfers, right? We've kind of been spoilt with rumours, right? This must be the 20th or 25th rumour we've had. But yes, I said I wanted a centre mid. I said I wanted a striker. I said I wanted a right wing. To be honest, centre mid was probably lowest down the priority, but I think I'd said in the WhatsApp or the chat that we need quality across 7 or 8 positions, right? And they don't all come up in order, right? Sometimes you need to take the deal when you can get it, right? We maybe necessarily don't need the striker the centre mid, right now, but we can't pass up opportunities like these to go, do you know what? We kind of need a centre mid, but actually we need a striker more, because the striker might not materialise, right? We need to take advantage of these deals right now. And I think I would agree. I don't know if it was yourself, Ryan, or Scott that mentioned it. I think we are quite top heavy, right, in terms of defensive centre mids, right? You look at Lundstrom, Jack, Sterling, all really good players, but I'm not convinced any of them are an 8 because I don't think any of them are good enough going forward to be classed as an 8. I think all 3 of them are preferably as a 6. And I think I would agree 95% of the games that Rangers play, there is no need for us to have 2 6s. Other than a maybe tough away European fixture where you might play 2 to protect, right? We need people who are going to take the ball under pressure, break teams' press, create things on or around their box. And Diomande looks as if he will do that. Looking at the videos, he reminds me very much of Kamara. See the way in terms he takes the ball, he moves with the ball, he protects the ball. Except he looks even more athletic and dynamic than what Kamara is, which can only be a plus, right? I think a few weeks ago we spoke about games versus Celtic, right? And how these games are won in the midfield. I am sick of watching centre mids who can't take the ball under Celtic's press, and instead we just lump balls to Cyril Dessers and Abdallah Sima, who, let's face it, have a first touch like a snooker cushion, right? And it doesn't stick, and it just comes back down our throat, right? This guy looks as though...
I've never heard that before. Can we just applaud that? That is fantastic.
That's stolen.
This guy looks like he's one of these guys. If you think about the success we had under Gerrard in these fixtures, Stephen Davis, Glenn Kamara, Joe Aribo, all guys who are pressure resistant to a degree, right? They'll take the ball under pressure with a guy up their arse and they'll play through a press. And this Diomande looks as if he can do that as well as being a ball carrier. So no, I think it's the right model. If likewise, again, we spoke about it, Raskin is one who's been very vocal about it. I'm happy, right? See if he wants to come in, give us 18 months, 2 good years, win titles, win cups, whatever it is he wants. And then he wants to go down south or into Europe for 10, 15, 20 million, whatever the price is, depending on how they perform. No, nobody has any arguments with that, because you then take 5 or 6 million, you reinvest it, and it goes round a cycle. So no, really exciting signing. Unfortunately, he's not in the country. It would have been really good to see him in the squad tomorrow, but maybe for the next fixture he'll be at least in the match squad.
Yeah, hope so. And you get the man of match performance already for that comment.
Honestly,
I've got
absolutely
it.
superb. Great.
I've got it up my sleeve for Justin Muir. Take it away, Ali Pearson.
I'll start.
God bless America, Justin. I thought Justin was going to be at the live show. I thought Carney was going to fly him over as a special guest for it. So I was ashamed not to see Justin. And thanks very much, Billy McWhirter, as well. It was good to see you last Friday as well. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Jim, Billy, Justin, amazing support for us, guys. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. But we will move on, guys. I am struggling to keep up with the subjects here because there's so much happening with Rangers. I won't lie to you. And totally forgot we have got a game tomorrow. Yes, we've got a game. I think we've spoke about Diomande. We've been linked with the boy. Is it Lefty? You might pronounce it. I'm not sure. He's a Brazilian left back. Yeah. Fabrizio Romano broke it today. If you've not seen it, chances are that one's probably happened as well. If it's Fabrizio Romano that's broke it. He's a Brazilian left back currently on loan at Apple in Cyprus. I think he's played 18 games, scored 3 goals. Left back probably means an end to either Ridvan or Borna's Rangers careers. I am obviously hoping it is Borna's, but as long as Rangers do well, that's all that matters. We'll just go around very quickly, guys. Anything to say about that one, Ali, in terms of this Brazilian lad?
I knew we'd be looking for a left back. I've never heard of him, to be honest. I'd done the usual look on Twitter and stuff to see, and he scored an absolute worldie of a goal. So he must be the best Brazilian left back ever, better than Roberto Carlos. So Yilmaz, watch yourself. But I think he's coming. He's just turned 29. I think we were in the group chat today. He's an understudy for hopefully Yilmaz, and Mr. Barisic will be at the door.
Yeah, Carney, what are you thinking? Does this end one of either Ridvan Yilmaz or Borna Barisic's career is one of them and away out the door? For me, I don't think it necessarily does. I don't know if he's going to come immediately, this boy, or is it going to be end of the season? I don't know, but what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, but who knows? I think there's obviously very strong links. If Romano's putting it out there, then there's obviously something in it. you would think that it's late on in the window. Doesn't mean that stuff can't happen. There's not stuff in the pipeline. I don't see it being Borna, because why would anybody pay a fee when you can get him for nothing at the end of the season? I don't really see that happening. Would Rangers be willing just to let somebody buy out his contract for the rest of the season in order to let him go? Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Andrew Muir, what is going on tonight, by the way?
The Muirs.
Andrew Muir.
I'll tell you just now. See the Muirs.
Wow.
See if the Muirs want to buy out Borna's contract, I'll give them the money back. There you go.
Yeah, Jim can be the silent partner in the deal as well. Thank you so much, Andrew, mate. Absolutely fantastic. Honestly, everybody, that's superb. Absolutely brilliant. I think there's potential of one leaving. I don't see it being Yilmaz, not with what he's been saying on social media and that as well. It doesn't look like he's going anywhere. And the Borna one, I'm not 100% sure. But look, strong links in him. Scored an absolute world day, so he is obviously the best left back in the world right now, and we're going to sign him. So I'm absolutely all for it. I really am.
Nicky, he's going to play number 2 to Ridvan, isn't he? Isn't he?
That's what we're hoping for, mate. I mean, there's kind of 3 scenarios here. One is he's an understudy to Ridvan. I think all 4 is, and most of our fans could probably get behind that, right? Because Ridvan's been great. Second scenario is Yilmaz goes. He's an understudy to Barisic. I think we've got problems, boys, if that's the case. Third option is we've now changed, and actually we're very good at forward planning, and nobody's going to leave, and actually we're just preparing for potentially Yilmaz and Barisic to go in the summer, and we maybe bring in a number 1 then, and he's a bit of a third choice potentially, just to give options. Maybe Barisic is injured, right? He's kind of been in and out. Maybe there's something going on with Barisic. So yeah, I know absolutely nothing about this guy other than the compilation that Ali put in the WhatsApp earlier on, which makes him look as always like Roberto Carlos and Marcelo hybrid. But we need to see what happens. We'll see how the left back scenario changes over the next couple of days. But I tend to agree with Scott, right? Why would you pay money for Barisic when you get him for nothing in the summer? I just don't see many teams doing it.
Yeah. No, or why would you pay for money for him at all? Right, moving on to St Mirren game. We play them tomorrow at 12:30, so we have the chance once again, second time this week, to cut the gap, albeit it might be for a short time, but we are playing in St Mirren tomorrow at, I was going to say Love Street there, boys, help me out. It is not Love Street. What's it called now?
St Mirren Stadium or something? I think it's just St Mirren Stadium. I don't know what it's called.
The East Point Arena, if there's any FIFA fans out there. So we play them. Sorry, that's so disrespectful. We play them at St Mirren Park. So a tough game for me, I think it is, because St Mirren have been, for St Mirren, I think they're punching a bit this season. They're doing well, but they've been inconsistent lately. They did get beat 3-0 at home from Celtic, but they did go to Aberdeen away. I think the game before and won 3-0 as well. But that shouldn't put us off. We all spoke about scar tissue, etc., etc. So Rangers, for me, are on form, playing well, confident. We are getting players back at the moment. Clement did say that Alex Lowry will not be getting loaned out, so he's a new injury to add to the list. But for me, that doesn't impact the first team. I don't think he's anywhere near it. Ali, I'll come to you. What are you expecting tomorrow? Are you expecting a turgent game, or do you think we're much more of the same as Wednesday?
I think this will be a trickier game than Wednesday night, Ryan. St Mirren, I know they've been inconsistent, but against us and Celtic, they're usually good at their park. I know the last 2 games, as Stephen Robinson, our manager, said today, is that they need to have 11 players in the park to have a chance, because they played with 10 men against Rangers and Celtic. You remember the last time we were there, it was when the game after Beale left and we were all going there and we ended up winning 3-0. But they did go down to 10 men. So I think it'll be stuffy. But ultimately, as I said before, Ryan, it's part 1 or 2 for me. Rangers have to win that tomorrow. When we went to Easter Road, I didn't care how we won it. Just so happens we won it and we put a performance on tomorrow. I'm in the same position, just win it, Rangers. I don't care how you do it. But the momentum's with Rangers. We've got momentum. And we should be going across to Paisley and winning there and putting the pressure on Celtic, because we can cut the gap to 2 points before they kick a ball tomorrow, Ryan. I know they're at home. I think it's Ross County or something there at home. But it's us putting pressure on them. That's what we should be doing. So it's down to Rangers. It's there for them, Brian, to close that gap as they did. But as I said, Wednesday will mean nothing if we don't take 3 points tomorrow.
Yep, and I'll just, due to time, I'll just ask you for your team and your score, please, Ali. Just when you've had a drink. Just take a drink in between it. Take a minute.
That was my Smirnoff Ice that people think I drink, not my Fanta Lemon. But no, I don't know if we'll have the same team, but I'm going Butland, Tav, Goldson will come back in, Balogun, Yilmaz, Lundstrom. I know Raskin is available. The same with Cantwell. Sterling for me starts. I think he was exceptional. Second half has to start. That's his jersey going forward for me until a new boy comes in. So Sterling just in front of him. Tom Lawrence for me, I think deserves the slot. McCausland right. Rabbi Matondo, who I thought was inconsistent against Hibs, but he was still a thorn down there. He keeps his position. And Silva through the middle for me. I think Dessers is best coming off the bench at the moment. Silva was unlucky not to score. Did a lot of good work rate for me. So him through the middle. I'm going 2-0 Rangers. Fabio Silva to get his first goal for Rangers.
Oh, Ali, I like that team. I think that's attacking. I like it. I'm stealing it. I'm going 3. I'm going to go 3-0 Rangers. I'm going to go Fabio Silva as well first goal. I think we'll go back to back 3-0s. There you go. Carney, what do you expect about the game tomorrow? I think Ali's right. It will be tougher than Wednesday.
It will be tougher than Wednesday, of course it will. There'll be a lot of stuff here. I don't see St Mirren trying to really come in, to really have a real go at us. I don't think they'll sit in as much as like a back 10 the way they would do if they came to Ibrox. I think there'll be a bit more of a battle in it than that. But I'm confident going into it. Rangers we played some really good football on Wednesday night, and we should be trying to build on the success that we had of Wednesday night. I can definitely see a win for Rangers tomorrow, and I think I'm not expecting the same kind of. Well, I suppose I am. I'm hoping to see a continuation of what I've seen on Wednesday. That's what really I want to see. I can't disagree with Ali's team. I really can't. I would be just trying to make something up. That's probably the team tomorrow. I'd be surprised if it isn't. I can't really pick a better team than that just now. Possibility Jack might play, possibly over Sterling, just because Sterling's been out for a slight bit of time, but so's Ryan Jack at that point. Cantwell is fit also. Does he come back instead of Lawrence? But I think Lawrence probably does deserve a go at it. So I'll copy and paste Ali's team, and I'll copy and paste Ali's score as well. Sorry to be very unexciting. I'll go 4-0 Rangers, and I'll get Silva to score and Dessers to score.
Oh, the positivity is making my anxiety run through the roof, boys. It's great. It's great. No, it is great. It's just unusual for us. Nicky, what are you expecting about tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I think I would agree with the guys. I think it'll be another tough fixture. Agreed, tougher than Wednesday. I think the point we made about Hibs kind of going punch for punch, I don't think St Mirren will do that, right? I suspect St Mirren will come in to protect and try and catch us on counter or corners or kind of free kicks, which there is a wee bit of vulnerability there with our team. But it's all about the points again, right? Don't kid yourself, right? Every single Celtic fan and probably Celtic themselves probably looked at these two fixtures and went, there's a chance for them to slip up, right? Here's a chance for us to build up a wee bit of a gap, and we've got a real chance to sicken them, right? Because Wednesday was as comfortable as you'll see against Hibs at Easter Road. Another 2 or 3-0 tomorrow, as you say, puts them under pressure, just takes that wee bit of dunt to their kind of confidence that actually they are going to put up a bit of a fight here. We are not going to get the easy ride that we've had in some of the previous years. So yeah, I think it'll be a hard one, but confidence in Clement and the team. We've built a strong bit of momentum. We've now got 2 games under our belt. We should be sharp. There's no excuses. Go out there and win. And as I say, get a couple of early goals, kill it. How enjoyable was that second half for Hibs when you're 2-0 up, right? How enjoyable is it when you score early goals or score 2 goals in the first half that you can just go out, control the game, see it out and enjoy it?
Yeah, it was really good. And just give me your team and your score, Nicky.
I'm copying Ali's homework, to be honest. Did you put us in the WhatsApp, by the way? Honestly, I've got the exact same team. I thought Raskin and Cantwell come off. precautionary. I think at half-time, Lawrence and I think Sterling is the natural replacement. I think Fabio Silva will play as well. There's a bit of an urgency to get him up to speed, to get him familiar with tactics and the team, etc. And I'd say 2-0 Fabio Silva as well, but I'll maybe go 2-0 and I'll go Tom Lawrence to get the first goal.
Nice. Any of the above scores will do me, gentlemen. That is spot on the hour. We could have went on a lot longer, had plenty to talk about. It has been a good week for Rangers, progressed in the Cup, cut the gap, transfer in. It's been all positive. Let's keep the momentum going and hopefully we get 3 points tomorrow. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you for the donations. Unbelievable for you guys. The support, as I always say, is overwhelming. Please like, share and subscribe as always. And I'll say goodbye to my guest, Mr. Ali Pearson. I hope you get a good night's sleep in your bed.
Don't you worry, Ryan. I'll be going to my bed early tonight. But no, looking forward to tomorrow. Thanks to everyone in the chat, as you say, Ryan. And the donations tonight were unbelievable. You can feel there's a feel-good factor around Rangers at the moment. You can sense even the chat tonight. It's down to Rangers to keep that going tomorrow for me, Ryan. As I says, part 1 was done. It's part 2 tomorrow for me. 3 points is a must. And as always, it is over to you, Rangers.
It's over to you, Rangers, indeed, yeah. And I wanted to touch again the donations. It's January. It's unbelievable you guys make these donations. And so, again, thank you so much. Nicky, have a good weekend, mate. Thank you for tonight.
Thanks for having us on. Again, I would echo, brilliant to see the comments and some of the donations coming into the podcast. Looking forward to the game tomorrow, and yeah, this will be a quieter Friday than what last Friday was, that's for sure.
Yes, yes. And Scott Carley, thank you very much for letting me host tonight, mate, and you enjoy your weekend.
I don't let you host, mate. That's not what it's all about, mate. You don't need to thank me. No, thank you, everybody. Donations, again, absolutely mental. Bonkers. Crazy support. We absolutely love it. We absolutely love all the chat as well. It's brilliant to get you all involved. And yeah, looking forward to watching Rangers tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Everyone have a good weekend. Let's hope the momentum continues and we make this title challenge a reality. We are Club at 22. The boys will be back tomorrow. A reaction. Good night.